Hello everyone, let's talk about test item modification. I chose a question from the STAR test for third graders at the basic level designed to assess word analysis, fluency, and systematic vocabulary. The question is, which word names a group that includes the other three words? A. Violin, B. Instrument, C. Piano, or D. Drum? The results for this are about 1 in 4 students get it correct, so it seems like it's pretty easy or it's pretty well written, one of the two. This question covers vocabulary and the words that relate to groups. The student is to demonstrate knowledge of levels of specific among grade appropriate words and explain the importance of these relations. As this is an English question, the choices are rather Anglo-specific, which may not be familiar to all students, but the question actually only requires a vague knowledge of different instruments and a good grasp on the word instrument itself. I feel the question is a little clunky, so I would opt to change it to, which word names the group that the others belong to? I would also consider making all of the options plural, because instrument is singular and a group would imply it to be plural. That may be a little bit confusing. However, if you change only instrument to instruments, the question would be too obvious, and this is a vocabulary question, so I would make all of them plural. So for validity, this question does assess the student's knowledge of vocabulary, specifically the word instrument. Some students may rephrase the question to themselves, such as piano, drum, and violin belong to the group instrument, which is grammatically incorrect, possibly making them change their answer. So that's why I would change the wording. Reliability, this question is reliable as it relies on the student's knowledge of the word instruments, and it is a digital test removing possible bias. It would likely yield the same results if taken multiple times. STAR test is a digital test and digitally graded. The results are available very quickly. So it is practical, but some learning sites may not have internet connectivity, and I'm unable to find specific costs for the STAR test. So practicality would vary based on the learning site. Washback. The STAR test provides results divided by content area, which would mean limited washback if students are not able to see what they missed specifically, because it just gives them the content area on which they made an error. So for level 1, I would simply alter the format of the word to make it a fill in the blank in order to allow students to answer the question with a single word, like a piano, violin, and drum are all blank, and then the student would choose one of the following. For level 3, it's a little bit more advanced, but the general idea is to edit the question, keeping in mind age group of the tester without losing sight that this is a vocabulary question. So I would change it to select the following statement, which is true. Pianos, drums, and instruments are violins. Drums, bass, and pianos are all instruments. Violins, instruments, and pianos are all drums. Violins, drums, and pianos are all instruments. For level 5, some of the examples would have provided were not very applicable to assessing vocabulary, so I decided to make my own using the provided template. The goal of the item is to use the words provided in order to fill in the blanks. The reason I chose this as a bridging activity is that the student would have to know the meaning of all the words provided in order to get the question correct, vice being able to just guess the answer knowing the word instruments. All right, thank you.